Hey y'all, it's Mama Beth, and I thought today we'd talk about something that I have had requests for over and over and over again, and I can't remember exactly who I'll ask. As you know, I had to delete my Facebook, my Instagram for various reasons. But anyway, basically I didn't want my family to be bothered. But anyway, I get asked all the time how to cure a broken heart. It happens to all of us. What do we do? And if there was some magic pill that we could take, that I could give someone, or a psychiatrist or a GP could give someone, or some magic treatment to heal a broken heart, people would pay a fortune for it, and I'd want to give it away for free, because nothing hurts worse than having your heart broken. And I'm going to tell you a story. We'll do a little story time here. My first broken heart, real broken heart, I was 15, and the boy was new in school, and I just had the hugest crush on him. And I always had boyfriends, little boyfriends. You know how you do all growing up, and but I had never thought about chasing a boy until he came around. And then I was like, oh, I want him to love me. I love him. I would think about him. I literally made, I would make plans. I would have scenarios how we were going to meet up, and and we ended up, we started talking, but then he liked another girl who was a friend of mine. He liked her better, and I don't think she ever gave in and dated him. She had a boyfriend, but he kind of lost interest in me and went to her, and it broke my heart. I mean, I kind of went a little crazy. I would wait where I knew he would be in the hall, and or in the going down to the cafeteria or whatever, so he would have to pass me. And my friends of my brothers and mine lived near them, and I would go, I made it a point to go over there, so because all the kids, we all got together and we played ball and stuff like that, girls and the boys did, and I would do anything to get near him. And when he wanted nothing to do with me, it killed me. And I went into like the whole I'm wearing black all the time depression. I didn't want to see anyone. I didn't want to go to school. Ooh, I dropped my earring. I didn't want to go to school. I didn't want to eat. I was just miserable. And I think it lasted probably about 3 months, 2-3 months. And then I got another boyfriend. I was fine. But I remember the heartache. And I remember how bad it hurt, and my stomach hurt, and there was literal pain in my heart. And I remember, I've seen my daughter go through that, and I've seen other people go through it, and I think I have some advice that maybe will help you a little more than the, time heals all wounds and wounds all heals. Let's talk about what a broken heart actually is and what happens when we go through a relationship. Okay, when you have the chemicals that make you feel good, the dopamine, oxytocin, the cortisol, all of this coursing through our veins. Well, when we're in love, we also have the testosterone, the estrogen, and the progesterone, because along with the psychological attraction, we get a physical attraction. And you know what? That makes us feel good. And when we think of that person's name or we see them, we get a little rush. It's like a high, right? I'm sure you've all had it if you've been in love. And that high that we get becomes addictive. We want to keep it. We don't want to lose it. So, and over time, it changes. We don't get quite as much of a boost. Like once we've been married for 15 or 20 years, when we hear our husband's voice, our heart will jump still, if we're still in love, and or we hear our wife's voice, we'll be like, that's my girl, so we still get that. It's not quite as intense as it is in the first part of the relationship, but you're still getting that. So it's basically like being addicted to a drug. It's a drug your own body makes, but it's an emotional thing that actually is physical. Now what happens when that all goes away? What happens when your heart's broken? What happens when that person's rejected you? Well, the first thing that happens is you stop making that, and you start making serotonin, and you start kicking out all the good chemicals and hormones, and they, your testosterone and your estrogen and your progesterone, they all start shutting down, and they're just like, it literally is a hormone and chemical bomb. That's the only thing I can tell you. It just is like, boom, atom bomb, nothing. Scorched earth in your body. And you know what? You'll have physical withdrawals from it. You'll ache. You know how people say, my heart is aching. Well, it literally is. You don't have, the chemicals that make you feel good going through your body, so you're feeling pain. It's kind of like if you've been on opiates or opioids, either one. The only difference is one's natural, one's chemical. If you've been on something like that and then it's been taken away, you're going to feel pain more intensely. You don't have that. Well, it's the same way with the chemicals in your brain. If you've been pumping out cortisol and oxytocin, and your hormones are just all the time, and then it's gone, you go through withdrawal and you feel physical pain. You'll have headaches from stress. You may have nausea. That's why you don't eat when you have a broken heart. You don't feel like doing anything. You're depressed. That's the serotonin. All those, the chemicals get all off. That's why a lot of times, if someone's going through a really bad divorce, breakup, and they're on the shit end of the stick, and they're the one that's been hurt, often we'll put them on an antidepressant, like an SSRI, selective serotonin reuptake inhibitor, which basically takes the serotonin that you're making, all of the extra that's making you feel like crap, and it stops your brain from being able to absorb it. Also, you kind of flush it. And, different people react to different antidepressants. Different meds for different heads. That's what we always say. But, an antidepressant, if you're really, really depressed, like to the point that you think you might hurt yourself, first of all, you need to say something to somebody and get some help. And that's what we do, okay? But, you might ask your doctor to put you on, an antidepressant until you get through it. We do short-term, we'll do it for like 3 to 6 months if someone's going through situational depression like that, and it helps, But you're going to feel like that, and you're going to feel angry. Your testosterone level actually I believe it goes up when, I think it is. Obviously, I don't have my notes here, but you're going to feel angry. You're going to feel confused. You're going to feel hurt. And all of these things are chemicals, but it's also the emotions that you're having. Basically everything that you found comfortable has been taken from you. So we need to change that. And one of the things that I tell people who come in and who are doing like divorce counseling or family counseling, and they've been through something like this, just say the husband, for example, his wife has cheated on him and she's left him. He's found out all this and he's just down. Okay, well, the psychiatrist may put him on a short-term dose of, say Paxil or Effexor or Celexa, or, there's so many different ones. And you may have to try 1 or 2 to see what works best. But while the psychiatrist does that part, I do the talk therapy. And we sit and say, okay, what was your life like before, and what's it going to be like now after? Okay, what are the changes that happened? How are you different? What have we learned? Let's take what we have learned and make things better. So I do talk therapy, just regular talk therapy, sitting and talking things, playing things out. If someone is so hurt and so heartbroken that they feel like they're gonna, we all know that woman or man who's gone and keyed or sugared somebody's car, or, gone and stood outside the window and screamed at them, or, we don't want that happening. We don't want people getting so angry that they do that. So I try to help find ways to redirect that anger. And we've talked about different ways to get rid of, pin-up stress and anxiety. We've talked about using the ice cubes in the ball bat or the ice cube in the golf club, doing something like that. Going to the batting cages. That's always good. Going to the golf range. Hitting something that is okay to hit, basically. It works for me, and it works for a lot of my patients. But if you can't do that, I say exercise. Exercise brings endorphins, and like in legal, if you watch Legally Blonde, people with endorphins still are happy. Happy people don't kill people. Okay, so if you're going through a time that is, you know, your heart's broken and your life has changed, you know, start going for a walk. Brisk walk, go for a run, start going to the gym, work out. That's why you'll see you hear about divorce diets. You know, the woman goes and cuts all her hair off, and then she goes to the gym and she gets her body all tight, and you know, it's like the revenge body, Khloe Kardashian's show. You know, it doesn't necessarily have to be that you want anybody back. It's just that you want to feel better, and that's the whole thing with therapy, and that's what we want to do when we're going through a broken heart. We want to feel better. You need to talk it out. And you need to work it out. And if you need some extra help, you know, with an antidepressant, there's no shame in that. Please don't go to your GP for it. Please actually go get a psychiatrist to talk to and prescribe it, because I'd like people in the actual psych field to take care of psych things. But your GP can prescribe it, but you know, that's my recommendation. Please go see a psychiatrist or psychologist if you want, like me, to talk. But and people like me, we're the ones that help you get through all this and work it out. And you know, then the psychiatrist overlooks everything and makes sure that, you know, the medicine is correct. And you know, we tell women, you know, it's like a wives' tale we pass around, that you know, about pregnancy weight. It took you 9 months to gain that weight. Give yourself 9 months to take it off. Well, if you've been with someone for a long time, like a year or more, and you're really in love, you're really attached, and it may be, you know, a little bit less or whatever, give yourself a year off. And I tell this to people who are going through a divorce, people who are going through a breakup from a long-term relationship. Don't date for a year, okay? You'll see this in AA. They tell people this as well. Until you're better and until you've got a hold on your addiction, don't get someone else involved. They'll become codependent, and everything goes to crap. It's the same way emotionally. You know, you've had an emotional upheaval, and you know, basically a chemical addiction to someone, as you know, as your emotional, you know, pull towards them was, also your body was chemically pulling you toward them. So give yourself a year. And that sounds so long, doesn't it? Especially when you're in your 20s. Oh my God, I'm not dating anybody for a year. No, you don't need to. Give yourself a year by yourself. Go out and have fun with your friends. Go do things that you want to do. Take a vacation with your girlfriends. Take a vacation with your guy friends. Go on a fishing trip. Go to the Gulf Stream. Do something all the time, but do it for you. You know, you don't have to have a love interest to make your life complete. Give yourself a year, romance free. You can go out with a bunch of people, do all of that, but if you can make it a year, after a year, you're going to feel good about yourself. You're going to like who you are. You're going to have better self-esteem, and you're going to realize that you're not dependent on anybody to tell you how wonderful you are, okay? Because every one of you out there has something amazing about them that is better than anybody else. You just got to find it, and you got to believe it, and know how wonderful you are, and how special you are, and how deserving you are of, when you finally do get back in a relationship, being treated well and having it last. All right? I'm Mama Beth. Please hit that subscribe button down below. And if you remember, on my live streams on Fridays at 4 p.m., all money raised from Super Chats is going to, we're donating it to Operation Underdog. So definitely hit subscribe, hit the bell, hit the like, leave me a nice comment. If you leave me a shitty comment, I'll erase it, because I don't care. It's my channel. But anyway, come and visit with us at 4. It's on this channel on Fridays, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we talk about everything. We started out with domestic violence, and we're going to continue with that, and then we'll keep going on. We'll go to relationships, and basically it's just a safe space. All right, now I love you. You love you. Have a good one. Bye.